Hello and welcome to GC 360. I'm Joby Peoples.
And I'm Cole Rogers. Coming up in the next half hour, all the latest in Millersville news, entertainment, and sports.
Well, Bobcats, we have crossed another milestone. Though we haven't always been the Bobcats, our school has been educating students for 125 years as of 2014. This calls for a celebration with some special people in attendance. Our own Benedict Esposito covered the event for GC 360.
For a school to be around for 125 years, there have to be influential people along the way to sustain it. On Saturday, the basketball courts of the Wellness Center were transformed into a ballroom for the 125th Quasquicentennial Scholarship Gala. The black tie event recognized those who have influenced the school in some way over its long history, including the present day. Organizations like the Colonnade, SGA, and the Save Atkinson Hall campaign were recognized. Individuals were also recognized, like Sandra Deal, the First Lady of Georgia and alumnus of the school. Her husband, recently re-elected Governor Nathan Deal, was also in attendance and gave a speech recognizing the impact Georgia College has had in his life and in the state. He explained to GC360 how three major women in his life all hailed from Georgia College.
My mother came here many years ago to be taught how to be a teacher, and she did that for some 40 years in our public schools. My mother-in-law did the same thing, came here, got her degree, and became a teacher, as did my wife.
We asked him how he thinks Georgia College ranks among the other universities in the state.
I think it is ideally located here toward the middle part of our state. It draws students from all over Georgia, and being designated as the liberal arts institution for the university system, I think has added a lot of class to it, and I'm just proud of it. I think it's one of those institutions that has continued to grow and continue to prosper, and I think that's certainly going to continue into the future.
Catered by Sodexo, guests were treated to hors d'oeuvres before an army of servers brought out food to their tables. And what celebration wouldn't be complete without a bar? Or two. A jazz band played while the guests ate, and after dinner, the a cappella group The Cat's Meow performed familiar songs like Georgia on My Mind, and not so familiar to the mostly older crowd, singing the Taylor Swift song, Shake It Off. Georgia College President Steve Dorman announced a scholarship matching program which is seeking to raise 125 scholarships by the next Charter Day. The evening ended with a live band and dancing, a fitting end to the Charter Day celebration at Georgia College. For GC360, I'm Benedict Esposito.
The topic of last week's Times Talk was supposed to be sexual assault in college athletics, but a disturbing email sent out to the GC community quickly took the spotlight. The email referred to reports of the recent sexual assault of two Georgia College students. GC 360's Shayna Vinnick has more.
Like what we mentioned earlier is that what works for one person might not work for another.
The email did not disclose where or exactly when the alleged assaults took place.
I was shocked when I read that email. These kinds of things don't happen at Georgia College.
Among the items suggested were to always know your surroundings, no matter what gender you are, and to be cautious.
I'm glad I attended the Times Talk because we talked about specific ways on how we can prevent these kinds of things.
Even so, some students talked about the difficulty of the coming to grips with the reality of sexual assault.
But the fact that that conversation needs to happen is disgusting to me. I don't understand that kind of behavior. It's one of the only things that actually makes me feel kind of violent.
Times Talks, which take place every Wednesday at noon in the library, often deal with sensitive subjects. This one more so than many.
I thought it was really effective. We touched on communication and being intoxicated.
I thought the Times Talk was very entertaining and very revealing in that students opened up about their feelings about sexuality and about consent.
There is no doubt that this Times Talk shed light on a dark and difficult subject. This has been Shayna Vinnick reporting for GC 360.
Registration has once again come and gone, And it looks like we all survived. But for freshmen, it wasn't so hard. One of the most anticipated times of the year has changed, and these new procedures mean less decision-making for first-year students. So how do the students feel about this? GC 360's Katie Riggs has the story.
Registration is a stressful time of year for most Georgia College students. But thanks to Pounce, the registration process for freshmen is a breeze. Student schedules are pre-planned by academic advisors.
When an accepted freshman has decided that this is their school of choice, they pay a deposit, and that secures their seat in the freshman class, and then they're able to go online and submit their Pounce form. And in the Pounce form, they give us background information about their high school curriculum and other information that we might need. Are they going to be participating in varsity athletics, the honors program, music theater, things like that.
Pounce has been in place at Georgia College for 14 years now. But starting in 2013, big changes came in. Previously, schedules were only planned for the fall semester. Now, they are planned for both semesters of freshman year.
Last year, we implemented a practice of building the fall and the spring schedule for the freshmen. So this is our second year doing that, so that's the big change. But it's been nice for the student to have their entire first year schedule complete. We can make sure that they're hitting certain milestones like the 30, 60, 90 hour marks to make sure they're staying on track.
Reactions to the changes have been mixed.
I haven't met with my advisor yet. I haven't really needed to because of Pounce.
Class-wise, I got what I wanted, but time-wise, I couldn't help that. So I ended up having breaks every now and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then next semester, I'm pretty fully loaded. I have 16 hours. So I mean, class-wise, I was happy, but time-wise, not really.
Other students wish they still had Pounce to help with registration.
Oh gosh, thinking back as far as it was ago, it was dreadful. I mean, we were all freaking out about it and really stressed, waking up early. The internet was crashing. People were not getting any of the classes that they wanted. It was stressful.
Advisors say Pounce comes with many other benefits.
Registrar's office has calculated and researched the number of withdrawals that students have had, and that number has dropped a good bit because I think having their schedules worked out in advance, and we can tweak it and modify and make changes if need be. So if they can get all that taken care of ahead of time, they're not, dropping classes as much as they had in the past. Our sister institutions are now trying to emulate Georgia College and enacting a Pounce-like program on their own campus. So I think we've definitely been a trendsetter and a role model for our sister institutions. So
for GC 360, this is Katie Riggs.
Coming up after the break, Caitlin and Mackie have your entertainment news.
They'll tell us why we might see more than squirrels sleeping on front campus this week. And the Hunger Games comes to campus. Details ahead on GC 360.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's $5.47.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to GC 360. Monday marked the beginning of 1 week. Hosted by the GC 1 campaign, 1 week features events aimed at creating awareness of issues associated with poverty. The Hunger Games was the kickoff event. There was a speaker from a local church here in Milledgeville who talked about hunger around the world. After, attendees of the event were put into different districts to battle it out in service-based competitions to end hunger in Milledgeville. You could even win more points if you brought canned goods. Prizes were awarded to the winning district. Students were also camping out on front campus all week long in support and recognition of the week. Check out GC 1 Week on Facebook for more information on what is happening around you.
Don't forget about Battle of the Bands. GC students will show off their talent next Tuesday, November 18th in Magnolia Ballroom from 7 to 10 p.m. There are 8 amazing acts battling for a cash prize and for the opportunity to be the opening act for the 2015 homecoming concert. Wow. Be sure to get there early to get a t-shirt. Bobcats, you do not want to miss this show. What better way to spend your Tuesday night? Bringing it back to Georgia College, we have been talking a lot about Bobcats Meet here in entertainment. Full disclosure, Caitlin here is the founder of Bobcats Meet. We love hearing about all of your success stories, but there's one in particular that we really loved.
Anastasia posted on Bobcats Meet looking for a formal date, and Trevor responded. We caught up with them and asked how they met.
Okay, so I originally made the post on Bobcat Exchange or Bobcats Meet because, like, as a joke, because joke but seriously, because
she needed a formal date.
Yeah, so I was like, it would be really funny. It's kind of an ongoing joke with me and my friends that we're gonna be we're so single that we're gonna have to post on Bobcats Meet. And so I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And so I just posted a bunch of random things, hoping to find somebody funny.
Sure enough, the bond was just met immediately.
This past weekend, Trevor and Anastasia went to Black Diamond Formal together.
And it looks like they had the time of their lives. Thank you, Trevor and Anastasia, for using Bobcats Meet for all the right reasons and for sharing your story with us. That's all we've got for your entertainment news this week.
After the break, Josh Watkins will be here with sports. Now back to Joby on the anchor desk.
We know her as a GC basketball star, but the court isn't the only place she shines. Find out who's who making a big name for herself when we come back on GC 360 News.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people, and you're better than that.
Well, come on, man.
Hello and welcome to this edition of GC 360 Sports. I'm Josh Watkins and I will be bringing you the stats and scores from all your favorite teams in the Milledgeville area. And later on, we'll take a look inside the Georgia College men's basketball team and their upcoming season. But first, I'll begin by talking about Georgia College sports. The GC women's basketball team took a road trip on Saturday to play Clemson University, an ACC Division I opponent, in an exhibition contest to open their season. Though the Bobcats were heavily outmatched on paper, they pulled out to a 19-16 lead with 10 minutes gone in the first half. But they could not sustain their lead and lost 68-56. Behind their coach Maurice Smith, junior McKenna Rushton led the Bobcats in scoring with 13 points, hitting 3 3-pointers in the first half to keep her team in the game. New faces on the ladies' team also contributed to the team's showing. Freshman Elia McGriff went 4 for 6 from the floor, totaling 8 points. The Bobcats are headed to Tampa, Florida to compete in the Tampa Classic on Friday. The Cats' first home game will be at the Centennial Center on November 25th against West Georgia. The men's cross-country team competed in the Peach Belt Conference Championship over the weekend. The team finished 7th overall and was led by Paul McNeil, who finished the 8K with a blazing time of 25 minutes and 28 seconds. His efforts were good enough to finish 8th overall in a pool of 86 runners. The Georgia College softball team under coach Jamie Grodecki is in the news. They are going to host their annual Toys for Tots drive on November 24th during the men's basketball game against Fort Valley State. Their goal is to collect toys to give children in the local community who are in need. Free admission will be given to those who bring at least one toy to donate to the cause. And now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, the announcement of this week's Stellar Standout. The GC 360's Standout of the Week goes to Paul McNeil, a junior cross-country runner from Dunwoody, Georgia, who broke the Georgia College record for the fastest time recorded by a Bobcat during an 8K race. His time of 25 minutes and 28 seconds broke a record that stood for 4 years. Congratulations, Paul, on being this week's Stellar Standout. The Georgia College men's basketball team is facing a new season with a new coach. GC 360's Mallory Stinson checked in on their preparations.
The Georgia College men's basketball team opens their regular season on November 14th against Queen's University. Though the practices have not been going on very long, the team has been working hard to get ready.
The practices have been good, I guess. I mean, the tempo, the intensity's been up. I mean, we know now what to expect.
We practice almost 2.5 hours a day. We lift weights, we do individual workouts.
It's been tough. Coach has been getting on us, but it'll all be worth it in March when we are in the tournament and all that. So.
Mark Gaines is in his first season as head coach of the Bobcats after being an assistant coach for several seasons. Players enjoy working with and learning from his hands-on coaching style.
I love him. He's a good, energetic coach. Like, I guess that's good because like we have morning practices or whatever. And, you know, some people are not morning people, so it kind of hypes the team up, get the team ready.
Oh, I love him. Coach Gaines is a good guy. He deserves the job, and we're going to play hard for him.
The team is confident about their chances going into the season. However, there are many new players, and they will need to develop skills in order for the team to succeed.
We're still learning how to play together. A lot of new faces, so we just got to start meshing. We got a lot of different personalities. A lot of us are quiet outside the court, but once we get on the floor, all that disappears, and so I'm excited about a whole new team coming together.
Challenges are ahead, but the Georgia College men's basketball team believes they are up for the task. Best of luck, Bobcats. I'm Mallory Stinson reporting for GC 360.
Sports, studies, social life. This girl does it all. One-woman balancing act Shantiana Keys is nearing graduation, and her basketball skills aren't the only thing she'll be remembered for. GC 360's Abby Kaler brings us the story.
You might know Shantiana Keys as the Georgia College women's basketball player that made it on ESPN's Not Top 10 a year ago for a free throw that went bad. Actually, Keys is not only a star athlete here at Georgia College, but she also is a 4.0 student and a lovable member of our community. We had the chance to sit down with Keys and ask her why she decided on Georgia College.
I knew I wanted to play basketball, so that was a huge factor in my decision to come here. And I knew that academically it could hold up to a lot of other schools I wanted to go to in Georgia. So I decided I could get the best of both worlds here.
We all know how difficult it could be to manage the workload of many classes while trying to maintain a respectable GPA. For student athletes, it is even more demanding.
I just try to keep everything scheduled out and prioritize. In the athletic department, it is a huge deal to keep your grades up. If you don't, then you won't play. And so we know that coming in, and our coaches really emphasize being strong students before being an athlete.
Keys has definitely left her mark here at Georgia College on and off the court. But what does she plan to do after she graduates in the spring?
I hope to be working for the NCAA. They have a post-grad internship. But if not that, then I'll be looking for a job in broadcast, hopefully in radio or TV.
And to our fellow students at Georgia College, Keys offers a few words of advice.
All students should work hard and strive for really good grades, because at the end of the day, that's what you're here for.
We could all learn from Keys' experience on how important and capable it is to balance school and being a student athlete. This is Abby Kaler reporting for GC360.
Well, Bobcats, that's it for your weekly sports news here on GC360. Joby, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. Coming up on GC360, something's missing in the library. But don't bother looking for it. This piece of technology was removed on purpose. Find out how students feel about the change when we come back on GC360.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Between the Max, the Wellness Center, and the library, life as a Georgia College student can seem like one Bobcat card swipe after another. But one of those facilities has recently gone swipe-free, leaving some wondering if others are next. GC360's Taylor Weldon has more.
The second floor of the library has long required students to swipe their Bobcat cards upon entrance. The machine that once scanned those cards is now gone, and in its place is a lighthearted note telling students it's okay to walk on by. No card swiping required. Meanwhile, the Wellness and Recreation Center is still requiring Bobcat cards for use of the gym, clinic, and counseling. And the school dining hall, the Max, is still swiping too. So far, the library is the only school facility to do away with the Bobcat card swiping, but the changes have been welcomed by many GC students.
I kind of like it because it's just, I don't have to always have it on me to get into the library or to get upstairs.
It's nice because before you have to dig through your purse to grab it out and try and swipe it and hold up the whole line, but now you just kind of go in.
I think it's more convenient because usually when I'm going to the library, I'm trying to study or just meet with a group to do a group project, so I like to think it's easier just to get in there and get out.
That's the only reason I even had it, was to get in the library.
In fact, many say they hardly use their card at all after freshman year.
Honestly, now that the library doesn't take it, I'm a senior, I don't ever use it. I think it's only useful for your freshman year, and then after that, recently it's just kind of withered away. You don't really use it.
Now it's not real helpful to me. I don't really use it at all anymore.
This could be the first step in Georgia College someday becoming a cardless campus, but until then, Bobcats will keep swiping away. That is, everywhere but the library. For GC360 News, I'm Taylor Weldon.
Black History Month isn't for another 3 months, but the program being put on to celebrate it is already underway. GC360's Abby Kaler reports on the preparations.
Georgia College is preparing early this year for Black History Month in February, and that means auditions.
We're looking about maybe 45 to 60 people, talent from all over. You play an instrument, you sing a song, you write poetry, you dance, however, bring the talent.
The program consists of 4 directors. Claretha Wilson and the 3 other directors of the program are starting from scratch. One of the directors works at Georgia College, 1 is a student, and 2 are community members. Including the community members is a new thing this year.
With us coming together, basically, this is going to be something new, unique, and fresh.
They are confident the program will be magnificent.
And we're all on one accord, one mindset. It has to be the best. It just have to be.
The direction of the program isn't clear yet, but the passion shown by the directors means we can expect that the Black History program in February will be one to remember. This is Abby Kaler reporting for GC360.
I had hopes and dreams. What about me?
What if the president of our school was also your professor? That was a reality for Georgia College students 80 years ago. Of course, at the time, it wasn't even called Georgia College. Find out just how much time can change things in this week's GC History Minute with Michelle Dubin.
Dr. Jasper Luther Beeson served as president of Georgia Normal and Industrial College from 1927 until 1934. But Dr. Beeson wasn't a stranger to GNIC. He was a professor of chemistry and natural sciences starting in 1897 and was appointed vice president of the college in 1909. Dr. Beeson wanted to continue to teach at GNIC, but took on the role of president after the sudden death of Dr. Marvin Parks. Under the direction of Dr. Beeson, the college flourished during the Great Depression of the 1930s. Dr. Beeson collected enough funds to construct Parks Memorial Hospital, Bell Hall, the Ina Dillard Russell Library, and remodel Atkinson Hall. Dr. Beeson also oversaw the purchase of the 16-acre Nesbitt Woods, which is where the dorms in the Centennial Center are now located. However, in April of 1934, Dr. Beeson was asked to resign due to a conflict of interest in the building of the new library. Beeson retired that year, citing ill health, but he later returned as a chemistry professor. Beeson Hall was constructed in his honor in 1943. That's your Georgia College History Minute. I'm Michelle Dubin.
All right, now Cole, let's talk about what everyone is talking about.
Let's do it.
The new Taylor Swift video.
Oh, yeah.
Blank Space, is that what it's called?
It is, Blank Space.
Blank Space, have you seen it?
I have.
You have?
It was really interesting. I have no idea what went on.
Right?
She stabbed a cake and it bled.
That's odd that cakes don't normally do that, but Taylor Swift makes cakes bleed.
Yes, she does.
I really like the song. I was like, man, like when she was singing, I was like, oh yeah. But I was like so focused on like the story and like what was happening on screen, I could not tell you like what was like what she was singing about. But like there's this one part, she's like, you left the game. And I was like, yes. But then I think that she's talking about like, cause you know like at the end there was a second guy that came in.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd have to say he probably wasn't as cool as the first guy.
I mean, I don't know, looks wise and like he. Let's face it. Anyway, so I think like the blank space part, like she has like a blank canvas, like all the time. Like when one relationship ends, she's just starting over, you know?
That's kind of scary, actually.
Taylor Swift, she's got it going on now. But that's all for this week's episode of GC360. I'm Joby Peoples.
And I'm Cole Rogers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.